Save your sermon, preacher. It ain't Sunday, you know.
Hi everyone, my name is Martin Coolidge. I'm a seminarian for the Archdiocese of Dubuque. I'm in third theology, looking forward to ordination to the diaconate soon. I went to St. Thomas in Iowa State from 2010 to 2014. Actually had a bonus year in there. 2015 I was in grad school at Iowa State. I studied meteorology and I tried to learn my best about the weather. Yes, we still get things wrong, but try not to blame us too much. We do the best we can. When I was at Iowa State, I also ran cross-country and track for the teams there. Loved my time throughout college and going to STA. My first couple of years in college, I would say I was very focused on living for myself. As I said, I loved running, being an athlete. That was really my life. I really saw it as a talent I had to use that God had given me, and was trying to do that to the best of my ability, along with studying, trying to get a degree in meteorology, and one day a career in that. I went to Mass on Sundays at St. Thomas, and that was about the extent of my spiritual life. Was trying to say some prayers every now and then, but most of the time it was focused on myself. Lord, please help me to have a good test. Please help me to run well, to train well, to have a good race, which isn't bad. Certainly the Lord wants us to pray for our needs and intentions, but my life was very much focused on just myself. My time at St. Thomas definitely transformed me to learn to live more like Jesus, to learn to love more, to learn to be Christ for others. At the end of my sophomore year, I got very sick. I was in the hospital for several days. And during this time was a real spiritual awakening for me. The priest at that time, Father John Shetta, who's now our vocation director, came and anointed me, and there was a lot of support from the parish, from St. Thomas, people praying for me, people bringing me Holy Communion at the hospital. When I got healthy and recovered, there was this great thanksgiving for God, for healing me, yes, but also for bringing me back into more fuller life with Him, to want to be intentional about my faith. I started going to daily Mass at St. Thomas at noon, and was a real joy to be part of that, the community there, and worshiping God. Started doing Eucharistic adoration in the chapel, the Eucharistic adoration chapel at St. Thomas, spending time in that little nook of a tabernacle spot, just me and the Lord growing in my life with Him. But it was still very much focused on myself, which again isn't bad, but the Lord eventually was drawing me to come out of that. In that thanksgiving for my life, He was teaching me to live for others, to try and be Christ for others, another Jesus. I started a ministry that goes on at STA, bringing communion to the Mary Greeley Hospital, to parishioners, visiting them on a regular basis. That was an incredible joy, and it brought a real sense of serving God, serving His people, and it taught me how to love others like Jesus, to be another Christ for them. I just want to share one story with you of a moment, an experience I had at the hospital of doing that, of visiting an STA parishioner. I was bringing them communion, but this person, because of their health, couldn't eat or drink anything. So I couldn't actually give them communion. And this person kept saying, well, bring me Jesus. Do you have Jesus for me? And I kind of stood there and fumbled for some words of what to say and do. I just had this incredible experience of, I need to be Jesus for this person. I need to be another Christ for them. And it was a real moment of the Holy Spirit to give me that insight, that knowledge, that grace. And I know that moment definitely shaped my heart, my soul, to be able to hear one day a call to be a priest who is another Christ for us, bringing us the gifts and sacraments that Christ gave us. Didn't think about being priest much after that, but that whole idea of growing to be more like Jesus, of another Christ for him, continued to come up for me at my time at St. Thomas. Again, spending more time with Jesus in adoration, in prayer, daily Mass. More and more I loved being at St. Thomas, where previously I'd just try and get in and out as soon as I could to go to practice or to get back to study quick so I could get my stuff done and taken care of. And eventually the Lord did call me. I was at Mass at St. Thomas and with the community when I experienced that call to the priesthood. Right now it's a difficult time with the coronavirus and not being able to go to Mass or to receive the Eucharist. One thing I've been reflecting on and that I learned at STA and that ministry to the hospital of serving people that were sick and suffering was that taking on Jesus to be him for other people. Yes, we're away from the sacraments now and it's a very difficult thing. But maybe there's that person in our life who we need to be Jesus for. How can we reach out to them to bring them the presence of Christ? It's a very important thing for us to do. Maybe there's a family member or friend that we can provide that presence of Christ to. We all have Jesus living within inside of us through our baptism, strengthened in the Holy Spirit through confirmation. And these sacraments are still very much alive and powerfully at work, even though maybe we're not able to go to Mass. So just some encouragement there to get in touch with Jesus living in your soul, to be more like him. I'm certainly trying to do that better every day of my life. So please pray for me to one day be a good priest. And I will keep you in my prayers to continue to try and be good disciples, like STA teaches us, gathered, transformed in that community, and then sent out to be Christ for other people. Thank you, and God bless you.
Is old man Shoda still at STA these days?